Welcome to this video on the economic views of Thomas Sowell, Milton Friedman, and Luis Pazos de la Torre by Alejandra Reyes.
Hello, my name is Alejandra Reyes, and in today's video we will be discussing economic views of Thomas Sowell, Milton Friedman, and Luis Pazos de la Torre. Meet the economists. Thomas Sowell, Milton Friedman, and Luis Pazos de la Torre are economists known for defending free market approaches and skepticism toward heavy government intervention in the economy. Thomas Sowell. Mr. Sowell was born on June 30th, 1930 in Gastonia, North Carolina. He had a very difficult upbringing in Harlem, New York City, and did not complete high school, facing limited opportunities early in life. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps during the Korean War, an experience that shaped his discipline and outlook. Despite these challenges, he pursued education with determination, earning degrees in economics from the University of Harvard, Columbia University, and the University of Chicago. Through his writings and teaching, he worked to make complex economic ideas understandable, aiming to help others think critically about policies and improve their own understanding of how societies function. Mr. Thomas Sowell's most influential work was his book in Basic Economics, a common sense guide to the economy. He explains in this book that economics is fundamentally about how scarce resources are allocated through choices and trade-offs, with prices acting as signals that coordinate supply and demand. It argues that profits and losses guide efficiency. Competition drives innovation, and voluntary trade benefits all parties. While government interventions, though often well-intentioned, can create unintentional consequences by distorting incentives. Overall, the book emphasizes looking beyond immediate effects to understand the broader, often unseen impact of economic decisions. Our second economist is Mr. Milton Friedman. Mr. Friedman was born in 1912 to a poor immigrant family and grew up during the Great Depression, which sparked his interest in economics. As a professor at the University of Chicago, he challenged dominant ideas from John Maynard Keynes by arguing that free markets and limited governments work best. In his book, A Monetary History of the United States, he claimed poor monetary policies worsened the Depression, helping revive monetarism. His ideas influenced leaders like Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, and he later popularized his views through Free to Choose, a series of books later adopted into PBS TV series, becoming one of the most influential and debated economists of the 20th century. Milton Friedman's most influential work was his book called A Monetary History of the United States, 1864 to 1960. In collaboration with Anna Swartz, they both argued that the Federal Reserve significantly contributed to transforming a typical economic downturn into a Great Depression by permitting a collapse in the money supply. This work greatly influenced economists and policymakers' understanding of monetary policy, contributing to the development of monetarism. The perspective that controlling the money supply is essential for managing inflation and economic stability and continues to impact central banking practices today. Our third economist is Mr. Luis Pazos de la Torre. Mr. Pazos was born in 1947. He is a Mexican economist influenced by classical liberal ideas who argues that high government spending and debt cause inflation and instability in the economy. He promotes fiscal discipline, limited state intervention, and market based development, and is known as a key free market intervention. Mr. Pazos promotes fiscal discipline, limited state intervention, and market based development, and is known as a key free market voice in Mexico and Latin America economic debates. He studied economics and business administration at the Instituto Tecnológico y de Estudios Superiores. Mr. Pasos promotes fiscal discipline, limited state intervention, and market based development, and is known as a key free market voice in Mexican and Latin American economic debates. He studied economics and business administration at the Instituto Tecnológico de Estudios Superiores de Monterrey, the Monterrey Institute of Technology and Higher Education. He also studied law degree from the Escuela Libre de Derecho, or an independent school of law in Mexico City. He received a master's degree in public finance from the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico, the UNAM, and a doctorate honoris causa by Francisco Marroquin University in Guatemala. Luis Pazos de la Torre most influential work, it's a series of books on economics. He authored over 30 books in economics, law, and political philosophy, including Ciencia y Teoría Económica, Science and Economic Theory, El Derecho como base del crecimiento económico, Law as a foundation of economic growth, focusing on legal certainty, private property, and free enterprise while criticizing price controls and state intervention. Mr. Paso's writings are aimed to the general public as well as policymakers using an accessible style to explain economic ideas. He has collaborated with the Centro de Investigaciones sobre la Libre Empresa, or the Center for Research on Free Enterprise, and received an honorary doctorate from the University Francisco Marroquin in Guatemala. His commentaries appear in Mexico and Latin America media, and he is widely recognized as a leading advocate of free market economics in debates on development and governance. In conclusion, Thomas Sowell, Milton Friedman, and Luis Pazos de la Torre all support free markets and limited government, but differ in approach. Friedman is a globally influential monetary theorist. Sowell uses historical and empirical analysis to evaluate policy, while Pazos writes accessible policy focused commentary for Latin America. Together, they emphasize markets, incentives, and limited government as drivers of economic performance. Here is my resource page, and I leave you with a quote. A strong economy begins with a strong, well educated force. Author unknown.